Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon when you are watching this video lecture. In the earlier session we discussed about some of the basic concepts of marginal costing, including what is contribution, what is PV ratio, and the concept of break-even point, margin of safety, and various formulae related to calculating all these items we have discussed in the earlier session. I hope all of you have written down the formulae well on paper and revised them well. And once again I am reiterating the point, unless and until you are thorough with the formulae, we will not be comfortably able to solve problems of marginal costing. So first and foremost, prerequisite for solving the problems of marginal costing is thoroughness in the formulae. So try to write, remember, and of course understand all the formula related to this chapter, and then solve these questions on paper. Don't try to solve them just in the brain. That is practically not possible for most of the people. So on paper, step by step, if you just try to solve the questions, easily we can approach the questions of marginal costing and get good marks in the examination. Today let us continue with some more problems of marginal costing using the similar formulae, and if required, some other new concepts as and when required by the problems. We will discuss them while solving those problems itself. So let us start with this question number 1. A company has PV ratio of 40%. By what percentage must the sales be increased to offset a 20% reduction in selling price? So it's a kind of a small bit, like 2 marks type of bit. Of course, questions can be always asked even in multiple sub questions also. There such kind of questions can be expected. Irrespective of that, once we understand the aspects and formulae of marginal costing and CVP analysis, any question that is encountered, we should be able to solve it comfortably. So these all will be useful for practice in the chapter of marginal costing. So let us look at this and try to get the answer for this question. PV ratio of a particular company is 40%, and the question is about by what percentage must the sales be increased to offset a 20% reduction in selling price. So what is their existing data is, existing scenario says there is a PV ratio of 40% and there could be a reduction in selling price of 20% later, and the question is about how much the sales be increased. So naturally you have to understand sales by what percentage they must be increased means in an overall case how much percentage of sales have to be changed when there is a reduction in the selling price by 20%. First point here is no absolute numbers are there, all are percentages only. Even the requirement also is in percentage. So there is no way that we can directly just apply some formula and get it. First thing first, easier way to solve such case of questions where only percentages are given is take some imaginary data. Just take any numbers just like that. For example, let us say there is a number of units currently sold. Just take any number. For convenience, let us take 100, and selling price currently, let us take also is 100. Any numbers you can take, but just for convenience we are taking some numbers. So 100 units are sold, selling price is also 100 currently, let us say. That means what is the contribution? Contribution is going to be how much now? Since PV ratio is 40%, naturally contribution per unit is going to be 40 rupees, and total contribution is going to be 40 into 100 units, that is 4,000 rupees. Now the question is, the total contribution should be same, because when there is a reduction in selling price, definitely there is going to be change in the contribution, but they don't want that. So what is the only way how to offset this reduction in selling price, if at all they want to have the same contribution, is number of units has to be increased. My question is, by how many units or by how much percentage the number of units have to be increased is what we should calculate. But the expected contribution is supposed to be same, because they want to earn the same profit. Fixed cost obviously will be same. That means contribution also is supposed to be same, maintained at 4,000 rupees. Now, if at all 4,000 rupees contribution is required and selling price is reduced by 20%. So, selling price reduced by 20% means the new selling price will be how much? New selling price will be, that is 80 rupees, isn't it? So, new selling price, if it is 80 rupees, then what will be the new variable cost per unit? There is not going to be any change in the variable cost per unit. That you have to keep in mind. Variable cost per unit will remain constant. Only what changed here is selling price changed. Variable cost per unit will remain constant, fixed cost in total will remain constant. So variable cost per unit earlier was how much? That was 60, because earlier contribution was 40. Contribution and variable cost, or PV ratio and variable cost to sales ratio are complements to each other. We know that if 100 rupees is the selling price, contribution is 40, variable cost per unit would have been 60. That remains the same now, even if the reduction of selling price happened to 80 now. So variable cost is 60. That means new contribution per unit is 20. But you want to achieve a total contribution of 4,000 rupees. Same contribution, how can it be achieved? If per unit contribution is 20, 4,000 divided by 20, how many units are supposed to be sold now? With this changed number, 200 units are supposed to be sold. Originally number of units are 100, now the number of units are 200. So what is the percentage increase in the sales? Sales here means quantity. Percentage increase in the sales quantity, how much? 100%. Because the sales are earlier 100 units, now they are supposed to be 200 units in order to maintain the same contribution of 4,000 rupees in total in our example. But effectively, the final conclusion is the sales are required to be doubled. They have to be doubled. Then only this can be achieved. The same contribution can be maintained in future, even if there is a reduction of 20% in selling price. That's it. So if the selling price reduces by 20%, in this particular scenario with a PV ratio of 40% already, by how much percentage the sales must be increased? We can say 100%, which is nothing but doubling. So that is the answer. Sales have to be doubled. That is for first question. Then second question. PQR Limited has furnished the following data for 2 years. 2 years whatever they are. Sales for 1 year is given 8 lakhs rupees. PV ratio is 50%. Margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales is 40%. Immediately we should understand other things also. If PV ratio is 50%, variable cost to sales ratio will be also 50%. That is one thing. If margin of safety sales as percentage of total sales is 40%, that means break-even sales will be 60% of total sales. That we should know from the formula already, and from the data, that is what we should interpret by looking at it itself. But now for the next year sales, we don't know. That is a question mark. We don't know that. But what is given there? PV ratio has changed in the next year, and margin of safety ratio we can call it. Margin of safety ratio is nothing but margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales. That also has changed for next year. But we don't know the absolute number for next year. But look at the further data. There has been a substantial saving in the fixed cost in the year 2000X4. That means for the next year there is a savings in the fixed cost. How much? That we don't know. But it happened. Due to what? Some restructuring process. That is one information that is given to us. And the company could maintain its sales quantity level of 2000X3 and 2000X4 also by reducing the selling price. How much selling price it reduced, what it reduced, that we don't know. But one thing for sure what is guaranteed is quantity is same. Sales quantity level is same as it was in 2000X3. How much is that? That also we don't know, because we don't know the selling price earlier also, we don't know the selling price in the new next year also. So what is known, what is unknown, that we have to be clear. What is known, one thing for sure is quantity of sales is same in both the years. That is guaranteed. That is the only thing guaranteed. And there is a reduction in fixed cost. We don't know how much is that. There is a reduction in selling price, but we don't know how much is that. We don't know the existing selling price itself. Not possible to know unless and until we have number of units or vice versa. So this is the data that is given, but what is required in this question is sales for the next year in value and fixed cost for the next year, break-even sales for the next year in value. So these are the three things which are asked, all in value, means rupees terms we have to calculate, not in number of units and all. The question is very clear. We have to find out three things for the next year. Before going to that, let us first understand what about the data of the current year. See, when sales is 8 lakhs in the current year, rupees, that is 8 lakhs rupees, and PV ratio is 50%, automatically, which means what? PV ratio is 50% means variable cost to sales ratio is also 50%, right? That means how much is variable cost in the current year, 2000x3, that is 4 lakhs. So this is sales, this is variable cost. Sales minus variable cost is contribution, that is clear, which is 4 lakhs. Now, margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales is given as 40%. That means automatically what? Break-even sales as a percentage of total sales will be 60%. So how much will be the existing year's break-even sales? Just for understanding purposes, 60% of 8 lakhs, that is 4 lakhs 80,000. What is the formula for break-even sales? Fixed cost by PV ratio, that is equal to 4 lakh 80,000. Then how much will be fixed cost? PV ratio into 4 lakh 80,000, that is 4 lakh 80,000 into 50% PV ratio, that is naturally half of that, 2 lakh 40,000. So we have fixed cost also 2 lakh 40,000. We are just filling the existing current year's data, though it is not asked, to be clear about what is the data available. So current year profit is 1 lakh 60,000. So as far as the existing year is concerned, almost all the data at a total level we know. Per unit we don't know. Why? Because we don't know selling price. If we knew selling price, per unit also can be found out for all of them. But unfortunately, since we don't have the data about selling price in the current year, we don't know per unit data and we don't know number of units also. But totals we know. Sales, variable cost, contribution, fixed cost, profit. This is the existing year's situation. Just keep it ready. Just take it and keep it ready. That is current year's data just compiled in one place. Now let us look at the next year's data. First point is we don't know the sales. That is what we should find out. But fixed cost was reduced. So 2,40,000 definitely cannot be the fixed cost. Fixed cost has definitely changed. Sales also will be changed. Total. Why? Because when you have the same quantity but less selling price, naturally sales will be lesser in the next year. So what is the only thing that is going to be constant in the next year? That we should identify. Only data that we know about next year in absolute terms, what is that? Sales we don't know. Fixed cost we don't know. When we don't know these other things, we don't know. Only thing that will not change in the next year is variable cost. Variable cost is going to remain at 4 lakhs. How do you know that? Because the sales quantity has not changed. When the quantity has not changed, total quantity is same. Variable cost per unit will remain constant unless otherwise stated. No mention about variable cost is there. Which means what? Per unit variable cost is same. And total variable cost also is same. When there is no change in the level of activity, why there will be change in variable cost? No change in variable cost. Since the sales quantity is same in the next year, total variable cost is definitely same in the next year. That is for sure. That is the only absolute data we have about next year. But other data is there related to next year in the form of percentages. Look at PV ratio for the next year. PV ratio is 37.5%. So simple logic. When PV ratio is 37.5%, if PV ratio is 37.5%, what will be the variable cost to sales ratio? That is complementary to it. So 100 minus 37.5, That means 62.5% is the variable cost to sales ratio. In other words, this 4 lakhs is representing 62.5. That is the variable cost. Then naturally how much will be sales? 4 lakhs into, if this is representing 62.5, sales will be 100 into 100 by 62.5. So 4 lakhs variable cost, which is going to be same, into 100 divided by 62.5 means the sales for next year are going to be not 8 lakhs but 6 lakhs 40,000. That is the answer for first question. How much is the sales? 6 lakhs 40,000. Then second question is about fixed cost for the next year and break-even sales for the next year also. See, break-even sales we can find out easily. Once again, because margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales is given. When margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales is 21.875%, that is 21.875%, what is that? That can be called margin of safety ratio as a percentage of total sales. Then naturally, how much will be break-even sales as a percentage of total sales? Since they are complements to each other, that will be 78.125% is the break-even sales as a percentage of total sales. We know total sales already, so just multiply these two. What will be the break-even sales? 78.125% of 6 lakhs 40,000. That comes to 5 lakhs rupees. That is the answer for third question actually. That is break-even sales. We got it. 5 lakhs. Then fixed cost can be easily found out because we know the formula for break-even sales. This 5 lakhs break-even sales is equal to fixed cost by PV ratio, isn't it? Then how much will be fixed cost? Break-even sales into cross multiply. PV ratio for the next year is how much? As given, 37.5%. 37.5%. So how much is fixed cost now? That is 1,87,500. That's it. Just for understanding purposes, though it was not asked. So what is the situation for next year? What is the complete scenario for next year? First of all, sales are going to be 6 lakhs 40,000 for the next year. Why is that? Though the quantity is same, since the price has been reduced, sales have come down to 6 lakhs 40,000. We don't know how much quantity, how much price. It doesn't matter. We know value. Variable cost is going to remain same. That is 4 lakhs. So naturally, contribution was going to be 2 lakh 40,000. You can check that. 2 lakh 40,000 divided by 6 lakhs 40,000 into 100, 37.5% is the PV ratio. Naturally, that is the one for next year. So contribution is 2 lakhs 40,000. That is known. Deduct fixed cost. Fixed cost has reduced to 1,87,500. So 2,40,000 minus 1,87,500 is 52,500 is the profit for next year. Anyway, from whichever area to other area, we should be able to calculate. Profit is 52,500. That is the data for next year completely. You can check anyways also. What will be the break-even sales? We know that. Break-even sales are how much? 5 lakhs. Already we calculated. Naturally, when break-even sales are 5 lakhs, how much will be margin of safety? Any of them can be asked, right? Not necessarily what is given here only will be asked. Anything can be asked. So we should be able to calculate anything. So margin of safety will be naturally 1,40,000. Is it matching? Check that. 52,500 divided by 0.375. 1,40,000. Profit by PV ratio is margin of safety. So that is how the full picture about next year data can be compiled. Though what was asked is 3 things. We have all of them. Sales is 6,40,000. Fixed cost is 1,87,500. Break-even point for the next year in value is 5 lakhs rupees. That is the answer for second question. Next, question number 3, a small one. A company earned a profit of 30,000 rupees during some year. If the marginal cost and selling price of a product are 8 rupees and 10 rupees respectively, find out the amount of margin of safety. It's a straightforward, simple, straight question. Margin of safety formula is profit by PV ratio. Profit is how much? 30,000. How much is PV ratio? PV ratio is nothing but contribution by sales into 100. So when selling price is 10 rupees, marginal cost is nothing but variable cost, that is 8 rupees. 2 rupees is contribution per unit. So 2 by 10 means 20% is the PV ratio. So 20% is PV ratio. 30,000 divided by 0.2, which means 1,50,000 is the margin of safety. Profit by PV ratio. That's it. 30,000 divided by 20%. How 20%? Contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit. That is 20% PV ratio. Substitute in the formula profit by PV ratio, we get margin of safety of 1,50,000. Simple and straightforward question. Now, fourth question type of questions can be asked for 5 marks like that. EA Limited maintains a margin of safety of 37.5% with an overall contribution to sales ratio of 40%. See, contribution to sales ratio we should understand. What is that? That is nothing but PV ratio. 40%. Margin of safety ratio is 37.5%. Because it is given in percentage, we should understand it is margin of safety ratio, not margin of safety. And its fixed cost amounts to 5 lakhs. So that is the only absolute number. In any question, what is the absolute number that is available? What are the percentages that are available? We should identify. In this question, only one absolute number available is fixed cost, that is 5 lakhs. What is required? Let us calculate one by one. First, break-even sales. Break-even sales formula is what? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. We have the formula. Always in the examination you should write the formula and then substitute, then only you will get full marks. You have to use this and you have to follow this principle in all subjects. Wherever there is a formula in which you are substituting something, make sure you are writing the formula and then substitute rather than directly printing the answer and thinking that you have done a great job. That is not going to give full marks. You have to write the formula first. What is break-even sales? Formula, fixed cost. Write the full forms. PV ratio, you can say P dash V. You don't have to write profit volume ratio, but still PV ratio, P dash V is okay. But fixed cost, you have to write full form. Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. That is the break-even sales formula. Fixed cost, we know that. How much is that? That is 5 lakhs. When fixed cost is 5 lakhs, how much is PV ratio, which is given there as 40%, which is nothing but 0.4. So 5 lakhs divided by 0.4 is how much? 12,50,000. Done. We have the answer for first question. That is how much? 12,50,000. What is that? That is break-even sales. 12,50,000. Second question, total sales. How do we know that? We can know from this, because when margin of safety ratio is 37.5%, break-even sales to total sales ratio will be complemented to that. That is 62.5%. If 12,60,000 rupees is representing 62.5, how much will be 100 representing? So 12,50,000 into 100 by 62.5. So 1250 into 100 by 62.5. That will come to 20 lakhs rupees is going to be the total sales according to this data. That is the second question answer. Third, total variable cost. Direct. Variable cost, how to know? When you have total sales of 20 lakhs and margin of, this PV ratio of 40%. PV ratio of 40% means variable cost to sales ratio is complemented to that, 60%. So 60% of 20 lakhs is 12 lakhs. So total variable cost naturally is going to be 12 lakhs. That is answer for third question. 60% of sales. How do we know that? Because PV ratio is 40%. Then current profit. Profit can be calculated straight away. First of all, how much is the total contribution? Contribution is how much? Sales multiplied with PV ratio is contribution. That is why you should be very thorough with the formula. Every formula should be 100% remembered and applied naturally. Sales 20 lakhs, PV ratio is 40%. Sales into PV ratio is what is contribution. In other words, just for reminding you, contribution by sales is PV ratio. Then contribution is nothing but cross multiplication. PV ratio into sales. And we know sales 20 lakhs. This is multiplication brackets, not negative brackets. PV ratio when it is 40%, which is nothing but 0.4. So 20 lakhs into 40% is going to be how much? 8 lakhs. So 8 lakhs is the contribution, but that is not the question. Question was about profit. So what is contribution? Actually, contribution is fixed cost plus profit. So if 8 lakhs is the contribution, how to get profit? Deduct fixed cost from that. Fixed cost we already know, which was given. How much was that? 5 lakhs was the fixed cost. So if fixed cost is 5 lakhs, how much is going to be profit? 3 lakhs is going to be the profit. That is the answer for third question. Fourth question actually. So break even sales 12,50,000, total sales 20 lakhs, total variable cost 12 lakhs, right? Naturally contribution is 8 lakhs. You can even directly get, see, total sales minus total variable cost is what? 8 lakhs. That is the same thing. You don't need all this also. Either way, you get the correct answer. 8 lakhs is the total, current contribution. Total contribution is 8 lakhs. Total variable cost is 12 lakhs. But contribution was not asked. We need that to find out profit. How much is profit? Profit is 8 lakhs minus 5 lakhs, that is 3 lakhs. Those are the 4 questions. Now, fifth question is asking something else new. New margin of safety if the sales volume is increased by 7.5%. Of course, when sales volume is increased and nothing else is mentioned, means all remaining things are same. We should not assume that changed, this changed, everything changed. No. Sales volume changed means sales volume changed. Naturally, sales value also will change. Why? Because selling price will remain same. So when sales now originally was 20 lakhs, if you say 20 lakhs is the sales originally, plus sales volume increased by 7.5% of 20 lakhs, which means 1,50,000. So what is going to be the new sales value? That is 21,50,000. That is the new sales value. Since selling price is naturally supposed to be same, when volume increases, total sales also will increase by 7.5%. Now the question is, what is asked? Margin of safety is asked. Margin of safety, when we say, how can we get margin of safety? Total sales minus break-even sales. Total sales minus break-even sales is margin of safety. Break-even sales already we know, that is 12,50,000. 12,50,000 is break-even sales. So what is the new margin of safety? Current margin of safety is different. New margin of safety is different. So 21,50,000 minus 12,50,000 is 9 lakhs is the new margin of safety. That is the answer for fifth question. Existing margin of safety is different because existing sales are 20 lakhs. Existing break-even sales are 12,50,000. That means existing margin of safety is 7,50,000 only. And when 1,50,000 additional sales are there, that is going to get added completely to the margin of safety only, since the break-even sales are going to remain the same. Now somebody might get a doubt, sir, why is this break-even sales remaining the same? What is break-even sales? Break-even sales is nothing but fixed cost by PV ratio. Will fixed cost change when there is a increase in the sales volume? No. Fixed cost will not change according to level of activity. Will PV ratio change if there is an increase in sales volume or decrease in sales volume? No. Why? Because PV ratio is nothing but contribution by sales. Let us say contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit is also PV ratio. Maybe the number of units would have changed, but PV ratio will still remain the same, since selling price remained the same, variable cost per unit remained the same, contribution per unit will remain the same, and selling price per unit in the denominator anyway is same. So PV ratio will not be affected by the increase in sales quantity. That's what is mentioned here. Only volume is increased, quantity is increased. When only sales quantity increases, PV ratio does not change. Fixed cost anyway will not change. That is why it is called fixed cost. When both are not changing, how will break-even sales change? It will not change. That means it is going to be same. That means the margin of safety, the new margin of safety in the revised scenario is 9 lakhs rupees. If the question is asked what is the new margin of safety ratio, then 9 lakhs divided by 21,50,000 into 100. That can be just calculated as 41.86%. Current margin of safety to sales ratio was how much? As given in the question. That was only 37.5%. That will be increased to 41.86%, which is a good thing, because the company was able to sell more number of units because of whatever marketing efforts, whatever they did. that increases the margin of safety in absolute numbers also, and it has increased the margin of safety ratio also, if it is asked. Though it is not asked, we are just calculating for understanding purposes. These are the various points asked in fourth question. Once again, formulae, substitution, answer. Mostly the questions in CVP analysis will be definitely like that only. Now, let us move on to another question. That is question number 5. MK Limited manufactures and sells a single product X whose selling price is 40 rupees per unit and variable cost is 16 rupees per unit. So first of all, selling price 40 rupees, whatever is given, just write that. Selling price is how much? 40 rupees per unit. Variable cost is how much per unit? That is 16 rupees per unit. So contribution per unit how much? 24 rupees. Automatically how much is PV ratio? 24 by 40. 24 by 40 will be how much naturally? That is 60% is the PV ratio. This is existing data. Then look at the first question. If the fixed cost for this year is 4,80,000 and annual sales are at 60% margin of safety, calculate the rate of net return on sales assuming an income tax level of 40%. Okay, we normally calculate profit, that is generally before tax. You deduct tax also, you will get profit after tax. That we can do as a last step, but for that we need to know first of all profit. No? So how to find out profit first? When fixed costs are 4,80,000 and annual sales are at 60% margin of safety. We don't know the number of units and all, though we know the selling price. So we have to crack this. How? We can crack this only with formula once again. Fixed cost 4,80,000, first of all it is there. When fixed cost is there, PV ratio is already there. What can we find out first? Can we find out break-even sales? Yes, fixed cost 4,80,000 divided by PV ratio, which is 60%, we know that. That comes to 8 lakhs rupees is the break-even sales. That is the first point we can break. Then the other thing says, data in the question says, annual sales are 60% margin of safety. If margin of safety is 60%, naturally break-even will be 40%. Those two are complements to each other, that we should know. So which means what this 8 lakhs is representing? 40%. How much will be total sales? If 8 lakhs is representing 40, how much will be 100? How do we know 40? Because margin of safety ratio is 60%. Annual sales are at 60% margin of safety. That is given very clearly. That is the margin of safety ratio. When margin of safety ratio is 60%, break-even sales ratio is break-even sales to total sales ratio is 40%. When we know break-even sales already 8 lakhs, which is representing 40, how much is 100? So 8 lakhs by 40 into 100. That means 20 lakhs rupees is the sales. First thing first, we found that out. 20 lakhs rupees. But that is not what is asked. He is asking profit. So once you know the sales, you can have all the other data, maybe in the form of a statement. Sales first, 20 lakhs less variable cost. How do you know variable cost? When PV ratio is 60%, variable cost to sales ratio will be 40%. So 20 lakhs into 40% means 8 lakhs variable cost. Just like preparing a small income statement. So 12 lakhs is what? That is contribution, which is definitely representing 60% PV ratio in total. From contribution, if you deduct fixed cost, how much is fixed cost? We know that. That is given in the question. 4,80,000. So from contribution 12 lakhs, 4,80,000 if you reduce fixed cost, what we get is profit. So 12 lakhs minus 4,80,000 means 7,20,000 is profit. But is it what is asked? No. Profit after tax we should know, because this is profit before tax. Because here we have to assume that fixed cost is not inclusive of tax. Fixed tax cannot be fixed cost. It cannot be related to production also. So it is not part of variable cost also. Tax is completely a different thing. After computation of normal profit, as good as it is an appropriation of profit. It is not an expenditure first of all, from a management point of view. So income tax level 40% when he says, after this profit of 7,20,000 is there, deduct tax at the rate of 40%. So 7,20,000 into 40% means 2,88,000. Deduct that also. We can call this as PAT, popularly called profit after tax. So 7,20,000 minus 40%, 4,32,000 is the profit after tax. That is also not the answer. People stop there without reading the question properly. What is asked? Rate of net return. Rate means what? Rate means percentage. Rate is not just about some absolute number. Absolute number we know, that is 4,32,000, but what was asked is not absolute number, it is percentage. How do we know that? Percentage of profit on sales, simply speaking, 4,32,000 is the profit divided by sales are 20 lakhs. So what is the profit ratio? Net profit ratio you can call it. Rate of profit you can call it. 4,32,000 divided by 20 lakhs into 100. So answer finally is 21.6%. That is the rate of profit as a percentage of sales. That is the question asked in first point of fifth question. Now, second point is completely different. For the next year, it is proposed to add another product line Y. Already they are producing product X. That is okay. But now they are going to add one more product Y in their product portfolio, whose selling price would be 50 rupees per unit and variable cost will be 10 rupees per unit. So we know the selling price also, variable cost per unit also of product Y. Total fixed costs are estimated at 6,66,600. By the way, fixed costs are mentioned not for each product. Total means for the entire factory, entire company MK Limited, fixed costs are 6,66,000. And the sales mix of X and Y is going to be 7:3. So that is the sales mix. In other words, out of 10 units totally sold by the company, 7 of them will be X, 3 of them will be Y. At what level of sales next year would MK Limited break even? Give separately for both X and Y the break even sales in rupees and quantities also. Rupees and quantities also. So this is something different. See, break even point and all we know we can calculate at a overall factory level very easily. Total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. We will get number of units to break even if there is only one product. Total fixed cost divided by PV ratio also we can use, and we can find out break even sales in value if there is only one product. But what is the problem here? There is no one product. There are two products or multiple products. So the now new point that we have to learn in this question number 5 is how to calculate break even point when there are multiple products. There is no option. Fixed cost has to be same in the numerator. That is for sure. How much is mentioned there? That is 6,66,000. That is okay. 6,66,000 is okay in the numerator. Question is about denominator. We don't have one contribution per unit. We have two contributions per unit. Can we just simply add them or something like that? No, because the sales mix is not same. So what is the only solution is we have to find out something called a composite contribution per unit, or you can call it as even weighted average contribution per unit. Already we have the contribution per unit for product X. Now we need to find out contribution per unit for product Y. How much is that? 50 minus 10, that is 40. So what is the contribution per unit? We have to just calculate separately for each product. Then we have to find out composite contribution per unit. So product X, what was the contribution per unit according to the data that is given? We know that 24 rupees. Already we calculated that 24 rupees is the contribution per unit of product X. What was the contribution per unit for product Y according to the data given? You can show that also. Selling price 50 minus variable cost 10. That means it is going to be 40 rupees per unit contribution for product Y. But they are not going to be just like that there. They are going to be having a sales mix of 7:3. And we should find out what is the composite contribution per unit. How to find out? Simply just take the weighted average of them. That's it. Weighted average of them, how that can be calculated? 24 into 7 by 10 plus 40 into 3 by 10. That's it. That is the composite contribution per unit. So 24 into 7 by 10, 40 into 3 by 10. How much is that? 28.8. That is the composite contribution per unit, or you can call it weighted average contribution per unit. You cannot just like that add these two things and say that it is contribution per unit. That will be absolutely rubbish. It will not show anything. Since the quantities are completely different, each of the products are different products. You cannot mix apples and oranges. You cannot say I am getting 4 rupees contribution from orange, 8 rupees contribution from apple, so I will get 12 rupees contribution by selling 2 fruits. No, apples are apples, oranges are oranges, different things. You cannot just say total of them as one. So what is the only solution for that? Either we can take sales value or we can take quantities. Better thing is sales mix when it is available. So here it is available sales mix 7:3. 7:3 is given in the question. How these X and Y are going to be sold in the ratio of 7:3. So 7:3 if you take the weighted average contribution or composite contribution, that comes to 28.8. Take that in the denominator. 28.8. So now numerator is 6,66,000 fixed cost for the entire factory divided by 28.8 is the composite contribution, 23,125. 23,125 units. Units of what? Again we don't know, because denominator is not about only one type of product, it is about two types of products. So 23,125 also will not show us anything. Then again we have to distribute them in the ratio of 7:3. So here we have to take 23,125 into 7 by 10 and 23,125 into 3 by 10. So 23,125 into 23,125 into 7 by 10. That will be approximately 16,188, let us say. Units cannot be fractional. So 16,188 units of X is the break-even point for product X, and for Y 23,125 into 3 by 10. 3 by 10. So that will be around 6,937, let us say. This is how this 23,125 has been split between X and Y, once again according to their sales mix. Break-even sales also will be in the sales mix only 7:3. So first of all, whenever there is a product mix, we have to take weighted average contribution, then use the same formula, fixed cost total divided by contribution per unit, taking the weighted average contribution per unit, and we get the overall composite break-even point, which is of no use actually. That has to be split into two parts of two different products in the same sales mix. In this case we got 16,188 and 6,937. So that is the number of units of break-even point. See, once you have the number of units, you can easily find out the value also, because you know the selling price anyway. So what was the selling price of X? As we already know, that is selling price 40 rupees. Selling price of Y was 50 rupees. Done. Multiply with 40 and 50. So X multiply with 40, Y multiply with 50. So what will be the sales value in rupees? So 6937 into 50, that is 3,46,850, and 16,188 into 40, that will be 6,47,520. So that is the sales value of break-even sales for X and Y. Break-even sales, by the way. Imagine if this is a sales only that was done. That means what? There will be no profit, no loss. You can check that also when there is a computation already. To just ensure the accuracy, you can check that also. So if this is the break-even sales, how much will be the contribution? You can check by taking the PV ratio of each of these products, X and Y. So what will be the PV ratio for X? That we know already. PV ratio for X was 60%. isn't it? And what was the PV ratio for Y? When contribution is 40, 40 by 50 means 80%. So 60% and 80% are the PV ratios. Just multiply 647 520 into 60%, that comes to 3,88,512 plus 346,850 into 80% PV ratio, that comes to 277,480. Just if you add 388,512 under that, approximately 6,65,992. It should be ideally equal to fixed cost. Approximately, yes. The difference is because of fractions in the number of units that we have taken. There will be some difference. What was the fixed cost? Total for the factory 6,66,000 rupees was the fixed cost. Now how much we got? 665,992. 8 rupees difference is only because of the fractional units which we have rounded. That's it. This is only for checking. This is not required in the examination. But ultimately, what is the break-even sales in value? This is the value 647,520, 346,850. Little bit here and there is no problem. Don't worry about the small rounding errors. The rounding errors are no problem. Conceptual errors, formal errors are problem. So what was the question? Did we answer it? Check that. Always check that whether we answered it or not. At what level of sales next year would MK Limited break even? Give separately for both X and Y the break even sales in rupees and in quantities. We did both. So what is the total break even sales? That also you can find out. Total of 647,520 plus 346,850. Total break even sales for the next year is going to be 9,94,370 rupees. This is okay. This can be expressed in total, no problem. But you cannot say total break-even sales number of units is 23,125 because that doesn't make sense. That is in number of units of what? There are two different products. You cannot say 23,125. That 23,125 does not represent anything practically. For that we need to have individually for each product number of units. So you have to say 16,188 units of X, 6,937 units of Y have to be sold for the next year, so that there are sales of 647,520 rupees from X, 346,850 from Y, so that there are total sales of 994,370. If this much sales are achieved in the next year, at least the company will be breaking even. Of course, there will not be any profit, neither there will be any loss. That will be exactly equal to just to cover the fixed cost. That's what is break even, right? So the contribution from these sales will be just about available, just about enough to cover the fixed cost for the next year. So the total break even sales for next year is 994,370. That is answer for question number 5. Okay. Question number 6 is related to decision making. We will come back to that later. We will do it later. Then let us move on to question number 7. Also is related to little bit of not decision making actually, but similar to that, pricing decision we can say. We will focus first more on the formula type of questions which can be straight away solved. So using the formula we can solve these questions. Let us move on to question number 8. If PV ratio is 80%, marginal cost of the product is 20 rupees, what will be the selling price? It's not even a question, it's just a bit. If PV ratio is 60%, marginal cost is 20 rupees. So what is the selling price he is asking? So selling price minus variable cost divided by selling price is equal to 60%, isn't it? PV ratio is nothing but what? Contribution by sales. Contribution is nothing but what? Selling price minus variable cost, right? So selling price minus variable cost by sales is equal to, selling price is equal to 0.6. So selling price minus 20 rupees divided by selling price is equal to 0.6. That means S minus 0.6S is equal to 20. So how much will be S? 20 divided by 0.4. In other words, 50 rupees is the answer. You don't need all this. Actually, straight away also we can find out. How? When 60% is PV ratio, variable cost ratio is how much? 40%. When 40% is represented by 20 rupees, 20 into 100 by 40. that is 50. Straight away, selling price will be 50 rupees. That's all. Now, another question. These are practice type questions. Ratio of variable cost to sales is 70%. Automatically, we should immediately identify when there is a ratio of variable cost to sales of 70%. That means automatically PV ratio is 30%. Break-even point occurs at 60% of the capacity sales. So, whatever the capacity sales, full capacity sales are there, in that if the company can achieve 60% of the capacity sales, break-even point will occur. Find the capacity sales when fixed costs are 90,000. Simple. When fixed costs are 90,000, fixed cost divided by PV ratio is break-even sales, right? So 90,000 divided by PV ratio 30% is how much? 3 lakhs. And this 3 lakhs is occurring when? It is occurring at 60% of the capacity sales. So naturally, what will be the capacity sales? 100%. So 3 lakhs into 100 by 60. So 3 lakhs into 100 by 60 will be how much? Naturally 5 lakhs. So that is the capacity sales. First question. Also compute profit at 75% of the capacity sales. 75% of the capacity sales, if they are achieved, if at all, then how much will be the profit is asking. So capacity sales are 5 lakhs, but sales are not achieved at 5 lakhs. 75% of that is only achieved. So 75% of 5 lakhs will be how much then? That is 3 lakhs 75,000 sales. Fine. You can just find out profit even by using a statement. Variable cost will be 70% of that. 3 lakh 75,000 into 70% means 2 lakh 62,500. Naturally, how much will be the contribution? 1 lakh 12,500. Deduct fixed cost, which we know already given 90,000, right? When you deduct fixed cost 90,000 also, what will be the profit? 22,500. That's what is asked. Profit if the 75% of capacity sales have been achieved. At 60% of capacity sales, there will not be profit because that is break-even point. If the sales are more than 60% of the capacity sales, then there will be profit. How much is that? That is 22,500. Straight away also you can find out. 3 lakh 75,000 into 30% minus 90,000, 22,500. Straight away also formula can be used and profit can be computed. But depending upon the marks in the question examination, we have to just show the statement in more detailed manner. That will be better only for presentation purposes. That was question number 9. Now moving on to question number 10. Just once again a small bit type question. Ascertain the profit when sales are 2 lakhs, fixed cost is 40,000 and break-even point is 1 lakh 60,000. So first of all, break-even point formula we should know, right? Break-even point formula, what is that? Fixed cost by PV ratio. That is how much? 1 lakh 60,000. Right? Fixed cost is given 40,000. So substitute there. So how much will be PV ratio then? Fixed cost 40,000 divided by break-even point 1 lakh 60,000. Either way, in a whatever the manner, we should be able to find out what we want. So 40,000 divided by 160,000 means how much? PV ratio 25% is the PV ratio. First of all, that we should find out from the data that is given. When break-even point is 1 lakh 60,000, fixed cost is 40,000. Naturally, the PV ratio is going to be 25%, 1/4 of break-even point is fixed cost, because break-even point multiplied by PV ratio is fixed cost. In whatever way it is, PV ratio has to be calculated at 25%. When you know PV ratio, straight away you can find out profit. How? Simple. When there are sales 2 lakhs, multiply with PV ratio 25%, what we get? Sales into PV ratio, what we get? Sales into PV ratio, we get contribution. So 2 lakhs into 25%, 1/4, that means 50,000. And you have fixed cost 40,000 deducted. So naturally, how much is the profit? That is 10,000. That is what is asked. Ascertain profit when these are the data that is given. Answer is 10,000 for first question. Next, second question. Second question is different. What is this second question? Ascertain sales when fixed cost is 20,000, profit is 10,000, and break even point is 40,000. A different data altogether. But we can use the same logic actually. So what is the logic here? We can use same once again. Break even point is given. How much? That is 40,000, right? When break even point is 40,000 and fixed cost is 20,000. Same. Break even point formula is what? Fixed cost by PV ratio. How can we find out PV ratio? Fixed cost by break even point. Cross multiplication. Fixed cost by break even point, you can get PV ratio. If you know one formula, all other formula are already known. As good as that. So PV ratio we can find out. Fixed cost is given, break even point is given. 20,000 divided by 40,000. So 20,000 divided by 40,000. That means PV ratio is 50% naturally. Right? That is the PV ratio. But what is asked here? Sales is asked. Sales. When profit is known already, 10,000. Break even point is known, that is 40,000. Fixed cost is also given. How to get sales? And we know PV ratio already. So simple. First of all, we can find out contribution. What is contribution formula? Another formula can be used. Fixed cost plus profit. Isn't it? We know that. Fixed cost 20, profit 10. Isn't it? Fixed cost 20 given, profit 10,000. That means 20,000 plus 10,000. 20 plus 10, 30,000 is the contribution. So 30,000 contribution means how much will be sales when PV ratio is 50%. What is PV ratio? Once again, PV ratio is nothing but contribution by sales. That is 50%, 0.5. How much will be sales? That is contribution by PV ratio, and that means 30,000 divided by 0.5, which means 60,000 rupees is the answer for second question. So what is the sales here? From the data that is given, 60,000 rupees. That's it. That is the answer for second question. Ascertain sales when fixed cost, profit, break even point are given. Don't have to by heart any procedure. Just remember the formula and concept of relationship between each terms. Each of the terms we should know the relationship automatically. By putting pen on paper, the answer will come. And with practice, of course. Directly, if you try to get these answers in the examination, it may take more time, and that will waste a lot of time. And if you practice well, you can save time in the examination, so that you can use that saved time for other problems. So these are straightforward questions. When fixed cost and break even point both are there, you can find out PV ratio. When you know PV ratio and contribution, you can find out sales. That's it. That was question number 10. Now, question number 11 is also talking about break-even sales and fixed cost. A company has 3 factories situated in north, east and south with its head office in Mumbai. Okay, whatever it is. The management has received the following summary report on the operations of each factory for a period. Sales is given, profit is given, and north, east, south. Actual sales are given, over or under budget is also given. Same way for profit also, actual is also given, over or under budget is also given. Now what is asked for each factory and for the company as a whole for the period, fixed cost and break-even sales is asked. We don't know anything, we don't know PV ratio. Definitely we need PV ratio. Without that, only with sales and profit, how can we find out fixed cost and break-even sales? Not possible. So we need PV ratio. Now we have to think how to calculate PV ratio. What is the option that we have? We don't know any other data. So what is the option that we have? We need to remember the formula. Change in profit divided by change in sales into 100 is PV ratio. That is also PV ratio. Change in profit divided by change in sales. So what is this change in profit? If you look at this, things are all change in profit. These things are all change in sales. Simply speaking. Why? Because if actual North sales are 1100 and if it is under budget 400, how much would have been budgeted? 1500. So what is the change in sales? Naturally 400. If actual profit is 135 and budgeted profit would have been how much then? 135 plus 180. It would have been 315. That is budgeted profit. So what is the change in profit from budget? 315 minus 135. That is 180. So there is no point of adding it and deducting it. Simply, this is the change in profit. This is the change in sales. So can we find out the PV ratio for each of the regions now using this data? Yes. North, East, South. Change in profit divided by change in sales. So what is the change in profit? 180 divided by 400 into 100. That means North 45% is the PV ratio. East, whatever that change may be, plus or minus doesn't matter. 90 divided by 150. 0.6 means 60% is the PV ratio for East. Then change in profit for West, South is 110. Change in sales is 200. Change in profit by change in sales into 100. That is 55% is the PV ratio for South. So 45%, 60%, 55% are what? PV ratios for each of these regions. See, when you know PV ratios, easily you can find out contribution because you know the sales, actual sales. Actual sales are known already. How much are actual sales? 1100, 1450 and 1200. Okay. When you know sales and PV ratio, how much is contribution? Multiply them. So 1100 into 45% means 495. 1450 into 60% means 870. 1200 into 55% means 660. That is contribution. Then contribution is what? Fixed cost plus profit. We want fixed cost, but we know profit already. That is 135, 210 and 330. So if you deduct profit, you get fixed cost. Both are same. If you deduct fixed cost from contribution, you get profit. If you deduct profit from contribution, you get fixed cost. So deduct the profits that are given in the question for each of these regions. How much is that? 135, 210, 330. So 135, 210, 330. So how much is the fixed cost then? 495 minus 135, 360. 870 minus 210. 660. 660 minus 330, 330. Right? So these are the fixed costs of each of these regions. For each factory and for the company as a whole also is asked. Okay, fine. What a company as a whole, how to find out? Total them. That's enough. So 360 plus 660 plus 330. How much will be the total fixed cost for the company as a whole? 1350. That's it. But that is not the question over. Break-even sales also is asked. What a big deal. When you know fixed cost and when you know PV ratio, how to get break-even sales? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So 360 divided by 45%. That is 800. 660 divided by 60%. That is 1100. 330 divided by 55%, that is 600. These are the break-even sales of each of the regions. Once again, you can total all of them to get for the company as a whole. That is 2500. That's all. So that is the question for different regions. It is not about products and all. Different regions are there. Since PV ratio is not there, we have to get the idea of finding out change in profit divided by change in sales, which will give us PV ratio. And once you have PV ratio, you can find out fixed cost by taking contribution as a percentage of sales is PV ratio. So sales into PV ratio will be contribution. From that, if you deduct profit, you get fixed cost. That divided by PV ratio is break-even point. For individual factor, we can find out easily. And total just can be also added so that we get the entire company data as a whole. That was question number 11. Now, let us look at question number 12. A company sells its product at 15 rupees per unit. Okay, that is the selling price. Fine. So selling price is how much? 15 rupees per unit, that is given. In a period, if it produces and sells 8,000 units, it incurs a loss of 5 rupees per unit. So if it is producing and selling 8,000 units means, first of all, how much is the sales in that period? 8,000 into 15. That means 1,20,000 rupees is the sales in that period. That is sales. Then what is the loss? Loss is nothing but negative profit. 5 rupees per unit he says. So 5 into 8,000. Loss is how much? 40,000. So sales is 1,20,000 in one period. It is only similar to the questions what we did earlier, but only given in a different way. In one period, it sells 1,20,000 rupees sales and incurs a loss of 40,000. And if the volume is raised to 20,000 units, that is another period. If volume is raised to 20,000 units, then how much will be the sales? Multiply with 15. Sales will become 3 lakhs rupees. That is another period. Then it earns a profit of 4 rupees per unit. And 20,000 into 4 means profit how much here? That is 80,000. So just to summarize this thing, it is there available. So let us say in period 1, if the question is given like this, people will be very easy and comfortable. If it is just given like as a paragraph, people say something is different. Nothing is there actually, it is the same. In period 1, period 2, data is given in indirect manner, sales and profit or loss. What is the sales in period 1? 1,20,000. What is the sales in period 2? 3 lakhs. Given in an indirect manner. Number of units is given, selling price is given, so you know sales. Then loss in period 1 is 40,000. Profit in period 2, 80,000. Like this, if the data is given, can't we find out PV ratio first of all? For anything to be calculated, we have to find out PV ratio for sure. So find out PV ratio first. What is that? Change in profit divided by change in sales, or change in contribution divided by change in sales, both are same. So change in profit how much? This is where once again people do mistake. Change in profit here is how much? Minus 42 plus 80. Change in profit is 1,20,000. Minus 42, 0, 40,000. From there to 80,000, another 80,000. Total change is 1,20,000. Divided by change in sales. From 120 to 3 lakhs it has increased. Means 1,80,000 is the change in sales into 100. So 120 divided by 180 into 100 means 66.67%. That is what? PV ratio. Or we can say 2/3. 2/3 is the PV ratio. So if the selling price is 100 rupees, contribution is going to be 66.67 rupees or 2/3 of it. That is the information that is given in the question. But what is asked here? What is asked? Calculate break-even point both in terms of value as in units also. So when you want break-even point, you need fixed cost first point, and then you need PV ratio, which you have, and you need contribution per unit, which we can find out. Contribution per unit, let us find out first, because we know the PV ratio already anyway. So what was PV ratio? 2/3 of the selling price. Selling price how much? 15 rupees. So what will be the contribution per unit? 15 into 2/3, or 15 into 66.6667%, whatever it is. That will be how much? Nothing but 10 rupees is the contribution per unit. But in order to find out break-even point in value also, or break-even point in units also, we need numerator fixed cost. Numerator is definitely required to be fixed cost. How much is that? Denominator is okay. Denominator we know 0.666 whatever 7 for value break-even point calculation, and here denominator is 10. That we know. But what is numerator? Fixed cost. That we should find out. How to find out? Substitute in any question, any period. Better to take positive period than negative period. So take this period too. 3 lakh sales, profit or loss is 80,000. That is given. So when sales are 3 lakhs and PV ratio is 2/3 into 2 by 3, that means contribution is how much there? Contribution is 2 lakhs naturally, right? 2 lakhs contribution and profit is 80,000. This is contribution. Profit is 80,000 means naturally fixed cost should be how much? 1,20,000. Then only profit will be 80,000. No? So indirectly we can find out the fixed cost by substituting the PV ratio in any year, no problem. Any year you can do that, but you have to apply the formula well, you have to write the formula well and then substitute it. So sales into PV ratio is equal to contribution. Sales, whichever year you take, we are taking 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs into 66.666%, whatever it is, that will naturally be 2 lakhs. That is what contribution. From that you deduct profit, which was given in the question, 80,000. That means 1,20,000 is fixed cost. Like this you have to just show that. So 1,20,000 is the fixed cost. Even if you substitute in period 1 also, you will get the same answer. But be careful with the sign, plus and minus. 1,20,000 fixed cost, substitute here, you get break-even point directly. 1,20,000, 1,20,000. So how many number of units are supposed to be sold to break even? 1,20,000 by 10. That means 12,000 units are supposed to be sold to break even. That is answer for second question, break even point in units. Then 1,20,000 into 3 by 2 you can say. That is 1,80,000. Or if you want to take 0.66667 also you can take. Ultimately it is going to be the same. That is going to be 1,80,000 break-even point in value, and break-even point in units is going to be 12,000 units. Naturally, 12,000 units into 15 rupees selling price, break-even point in value is supposed to be 1,80,000. So 12,000 units if you can sell, the company will break even. That is why when it was selling 8,000, it was making a loss. When it was selling more than 12,000, which is 20,000 units, it was making a profit. Simple. If it sells exactly 12,000 units, it will neither make a loss nor make a profit, because it is just going to break even at a sales volume of 12,000 units. That results in a sales value of 1,80,000 rupees. Once again, I am repeating, units, values, exactly we have to be very careful while calculating any of these things in marginal costing. For that matter, anywhere in costing. Most of the people mess up the solutions only with the simple mistakes. So don't do that. Be careful in the calculations. That will be very comfortably done when you practice more and more. And apply the brain, apply the logic rather than blindly mechanically following. Mechanical calculations will never help in this paper. This is not accounts, this is costing. So mechanical calculations directly just debit credit like that, if we do, that will not work here. So you have to be very careful in calculating everything each and every time. That is the difference we have to identify in this subject. And naturally with more focus and concentration, accuracy will automatically be achieved. Small mistakes also will cost a lot in this chapter. So that is another point to be noted. Accuracy is very, very important. That is the requirement, and we can say the skill set that is required as far as this topic is concerned. So question numbers 13, 14 also little different ones. little big ones. So we'll continue this discussion, I think, in the next session. Other questions we have done already earlier. So remaining questions related to the formulae, some of them, and we will also solve some questions on decision making, short-term decision making, how to use the principles of marginal costing in short-term decision making related questions. That also we'll discuss in the next session. Once again, I am reminding you, formulae we have to be very thorough with in any chapter in costing, more particularly so in marginal costing, because there are number of formulae and all of them are very interlinked and very much conceptual in nature. So practice well, remember the formula well, write the formula as many number of times as you can. That is the best way of knowing, understanding and remembering the relationships. More we write, more comfortable we will become, and that will give us better performance in the main examinations. Fine. With that, I will conclude today's session, and in the next session we will discuss some more questions of marginal costing, CVP analysis, also short-term decision making type of questions, how to solve them. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you very much.